Welcome, agents, to Strain 62-FAH of the 0 Point Report, a broadcast all about the news surrounding the Secret World IP. Today is Thursday, April 28th, 2022, and I am Ocho, one of the hosts for this evening. With me tonight, we have Teuton Waffle.
Guten Morgen.
And whoever snuck up behind Teuton Waffle.
It's a ghost.
And we also have Jimmy the Rabbit.
Prove it.
Pretty sure that's you. He is coming to us live from the QBL studios. We know that, at least.
The conference room in there. Right. So how's the water talk in the newsroom?
How's the water talk?
Yeah, the water cooler talk.
The talk of the water cooler?
It's in English.
It's intense.
It's intense.
No, it's not intense. It's indoors.
Well, indoors is intense too.
No, because it's not intense. It's not intense.
That's the that's one of my bad dad jokes. So that's one of my famous bad dad jokes. Yeah. Guy goes to a doctor and says, "Doctor, you gotta help me. I'm a wigwam. I'm a teepee. I'm a wigwam. I'm a teepee." Doctor says, "Calm down. You're too tense." It's bad.
Yeah, that bad.
No, yeah.
I don't deny that's bad. That's terrible. But welcome to the stream. I think we're streaming, right? We're streaming. Yeah.
Last time I checked, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Don't die.
So yeah, hi. How you doing? Yes, you are streaming. Hey, Leo Graham, how are you? Yes, but we're gonna be playing some Dune Spice Wars tonight. We're gonna check out some Dune Spice Wars. It came out, Shiro Games and Funcom released it on early access on April 26th, just this past Tuesday. On Tuesday. And yeah, so far so good. I tried it out. I tried it out. Hey, I tried it out. It's like a first for me.
Yeah,
actually found time to play it.
Still in shock.
Yeah, that's a shocking revelation right there.
I know. That's something actually new comes out, and I actually have time to check it out. Woohoo! And Jimmy tried it out, and Waffle tried it out, and we all gave it a shot.
Yeah.
So we're gonna check out Waffle playing it tonight.
So, am I missing something, or can you not rotate the camera?
Huh?
No. I do not believe you can rotate the camera.
Oh.
I find that irritating.
It's not like a 3-dimensional thing. It's a
it's isometric, kind of.
Yeah. It's one angle. I mean, here's the point. It's an early access. It's still an early access. Who knows?
True.
They might be able to add that.
Well, I mean, they probably didn't for a reason, I suppose. It just weirds me out because it feels like I should be able to.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I don't know, when we were playing Conan Unconquered, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never got the feeling like, oh, I want to be able to flip the camera around, you know?
Right.
Because it was, I think that's more isometric.
Yeah. That one, this one has a shifting, like
you can shift the angle kind of down and up, and then way up is like the map overview sort of.
Mm-hmm.
But like, because you can get down really low, it feels like I should be able to spin around.
I feel that, yeah. And I think I tried that last night too. I think I tried at one point being like holding down the middle mouse button or something and like trying to push it off.
You just end up going sideways.
Yeah.
It feels.
Well, there's a couple times
weird
where I noticed, like, if you have your couple of your units inside try and take over a village, the village nameplate kind of blocks the unit's nameplate, so you can't click on them. You had to move your view up and down a little bit, or try to get so you can click on them.
Interesting.
Or you can just drag the select box.
Oh yeah, you can do that too, but within the battle, it's kind of like.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I don't imagine if they didn't design it that way that in the beginning it's not going to be a thing. And I'm just saying it's odd because it's not something I feel like I need in like a true isometric game.
Right.
but just because of like the angle and the way you can change the angle, it feels like I should be able to. So it feels restricting. Whereas whereas in the more classic isometric, I never felt like my elbows are bumping up against something, if that makes sense.
I wonder if, because this game is stop turning the volume on. I'm not doing that. They have another game called Northgard that is also an isometric style. It basically looks like it's the same engine, essentially.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think, previously.
So I wonder if you can in that. And I'm looking over a couple of videos of it right now, and I don't see any turning of cameras. So
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a thing. I just
no.
Yeah, it's a design decision.
It just felt odd to be in a space where it feels like you should be able to.
Yeah, I get you.
I think it's only when you come down in. When you're like up more, it's more classic isometric, and you don't feel the need for it.
Mm-hmm.
When you come down in, it feels weirdly constricting.
I say, but it did release in early access. Many more features are planned for the game, including multiplayer, more factions, and a campaign to come later. So they didn't start with multiplayer. I think multiplayer is probably their number one on the list as far as what's being included first.
I think number one on the list needs to be a lot more information.
More of the tutorial, or maybe more of a...
It's not even so much tutorial as I feel like things just need like info hints or something. Right?
It's true. There's a lot of information that's just thrown at you.
Yeah.
And there's literally nothing. Like
right from the start, it's like, oh, choose your faction, and it's like, this one gets +1 little government building. This one gets.
What the fuck does that do?
Yeah. there's no like. It's like pick who your advisors are going to be, and it's like, this one gives you +5 little gold discs, and when you're near thing, and like I don't fucking know.
Yeah, so like, admittedly, it's early access, and I honestly think for early access, as far as the actual gameplay goes, it seemed really good.
Mm-hmm. It's actually fairly solid.
It's really nice. They did say on their live stream on Tuesday when they released that the smuggler for AI, it has a lot of work that they have to still do. That's the only issue that, like, AI wise, that they're working on.
They tend to run away, and I don't know.
Well, they do that a lot too, but
so it's missing a lot of features. Multiplayer, factions, campaign, and a campaign. So they are thinking about a campaign. Starts at a price point of $29.99 dollars and euros. €29.99 as well on Steam. And it clocks in at a svelte 2.94 gigabytes.
For a game this nice, that's
just like Chop Chop. It is for some reason I put the mark at Hide and Shriek at 3.14 gigabytes. And the fact that we have now two games that have come out that are visually is not bad. Coming in at under that point.
What do you guys think about the factions they picked as available? It seemed like a lot of people thought strongly about it. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it. I think that Atreides and Harkonnen are like staples.
And then I think Fremen have to be, because you're on their
mainstay.
planet,
yeah,
right?
I think a lot of people complain because of Ordos, but Ordos was only in Dune 2000. They're only part of the game itself. They weren't part of the books or anything like that, from what I can remember.
Okay, and it seems that they're basically. No, I don't think they're going directly off the books. I think they're actually coming from a lot of different angles when it comes to.
Yeah, they're basing from the books and the movies.
Right, because like the leader of the Fremen in the books is a man, and
that's another thing that people were complaining about.
Yeah, in the movies and here,
Come on.
not. So I think they said that they're going on multiple different things. They're kind of like joining a whole bunch of things, but the books are primarily they're the big ones. They're the first and foremost. But to say that they're not going to take the movies into account, I think would be
yeah.
Well, also it was silly to not take them into account, because
it's silly to not do it.
Interest.
Yeah,
that's what's driving like new interest into the IP. So
I mean, even Duke Leto, it looks kind of like Josh Brolin.
What I got from comments, people found the Fremen a bit too small compared to more to a house, and the smugglers came out of left field like the unexpected pick.
I feel like playing it a bit, I kind of feel like this was what they're going for is almost a civilization. Like, I know it's 4X, so basically 4X means civilization, but all at once instead of turn-based. So, and civilization has, not just the big civilizations that have stood the test of time, but also, all these really tiny ones as well. I feel like this is you could be like the, these are obviously the biggest and most powerful houses, and these guys over here are not. But why not give them their time to? This is a thing where the smugglers are going to come and rule everything, or the Fremen are going to beat House Harkonnen, or something like that. The way that this game plays out is more of it is what you make of it. And so it's not canon.
Yeah, I think anyone that's like, you shouldn't be able to play Fremen because they're not a real house, is like, fuck off, man. Everyone wants to be Fremen.
Oh yeah,
it's
a game. It's a video game. Like,
and I actually think the smugglers are interesting. I feel I more understand the people being surprised by smugglers coming out of left field, because that feels a little like, wait, there's a whole thing that's just smugglers.
Yeah.
But I think the reason, at least in part, is it's a different way to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So like all what they're showcasing is
each one has a different style.
They're showcasing the actual different mechanics of the Dune game, which is, you play this house, it works like this.
Mm-hmm.
And when you play these other ones, you have to play a different way because their strengths are different, and the way they accomplish things is different.
So, House Atreides is very political in their thing, and so it showcases the game's politics. Harkonnen is more militaristic, and so focuses on the actual fighting. Smugglers are very subtle, and so their focus is the more spying aspect. And then the Fremen,
sandworms ho!
Yeah.
Worm sign.
Come on. That's what Fremen is for. It's for sandworms.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like these are picked because they showcase a different it's a different way to win.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're gonna play smugglers or Fremen and be like, I'm gonna build 1 billion troops and beat House Harkonnen and militaristically. It's unlikely. They're not designed to win that way.
It's like you can try.
I mean, maybe eventually you will, but you will have gotten that way because of how you played it, right? Assuming that you even are capable of, I don't know if you are, but assuming you're capable of beating them with numbers, it'll be because you used your intel advantage to, fuck them over to the point where you can actually battle them on a somewhat even field. So I think it's less about showing all the different houses and more about showing the different fundamental styles of how to play the game.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm down for that. So they've already put out a couple of FAQs. I'm going to read part of a combination of both their first and second FAQ. They've put out development plans and a roadmap. They say that for the initial stages of the early access period, we're going to focus on working alongside you all to identify which areas of the game need improvement expansions or iterations, and from this, we plan to outline a developmental roadmap that will detail exactly what is to come and when you can expect it. We'll keep you updated on this front. They say, while Spice Wars launches with more than enough content to sink hundreds of hours into, I don't know about that. We have so much more in the pipeline.
You could. I had the game paused for like 15 minutes. I realized, why is my money not moving?
Well, at the start too, I'm like, why is my stuff not getting built? What the hell's going on here?
I was doing all kinds of stuff, looking at all kinds of things, trying to figure out why my like.
You're like, shouldn't that been done by now?
Yeah.
Nothing tells you how the stock thing works with the spice and the thing.
Oh yeah, the meter.
Experimented with that. Yeah. Well, go ahead and start playing.
I experimented with it too. I just didn't realize I was paused at the time, so I wasn't fucking doing anything.
You're like, I moved it.
I moved it, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
I just didn't realize I'd hit space and pause, pause time. And I hit like unpause, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. Now I see how it works.
Yeah, that's a weird like spice to money ratio. So it's like, oh, you can get spice that way, or you can get money that way. I don't know. I found
it's you're mining the spice. It's how much you stockpile, I think, versus how much you sell.
Versus how much you sell. Yeah.
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 And so one part of it is going to be money, but the money is sometimes not as good as other times based on.
Well, there's like trade values change, and also I noticed trading different factions will be different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd take a certain material and want to trade this person, and I'd see how much money they give me for it, and be like, fuck that, and I go to trade the next person, they give me a shit ton for it. I'm like, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah, because apparently the different factions care more about specific resources.
Yeah, because they have more of a certain resource and lack a certain resource, so like...
Or they acquire it easier, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also you have to keep an eye on this imperial tax, because if you don't pay it...
Oh yeah, that fucked me over.
Yeah, you get like negative 10 to 20% of...
Oh, I didn't even notice what happened to that. I was able to. I was able to do that every time so far.
I just didn't see it. Didn't see it, and it went by.
I think I got up to like 1,500.
Like, you're screwed.
Yeah, I got like 1,500. I'm like, I'm just keeping all my spice. Screw the Imperium or the Spice Guild.
Yeah, at that point you're just like, fine. I'll just keep it all.
But I had like no money, no nothing.
I think I might have overexpanded like too quickly.
Yeah, I did the same problem too.
Because then I noticed, like, it wasn't until later I noticed if you click on your main building that, like, there's really expensive shit you can do there that, like, opens things up.
Yes, and only after you reach a certain level of, again, this other points. This, was it hegemony? Hegemony points.
I don't know how I did this, by the way, but somehow when I was playing, like, what is your people value at? Like, yeah, like 50 manpower is like 51. I was up to, like, 500. I'm lacking all kinds of other resources. And my manpower was like 500. And I was like, can I just trade people away? Like, what the hell?
I don't know, can you? I think you might be able to. You'd be like, hey, do you want manpower? I can give you manpower for cash.
I noticed, like, with all the trade deals, mostly it was Harkonnens, but they didn't want manpower. They wanted, like, plascrete and something else all the time. I'm like, a decline. Yeah. I'm not giving you guys anything.
Oh, and then somehow I was like negative influence for a while, but I just kept trading other stuff to the people for influence and getting it to go away.
Well, I guess should we explain? I guess if we can what each thing actually does. So
dude, I don't know what each thing does.
As much as what we know, as much as from our little bit of play, at least.
Well, okay, this is my main complaint, and I know it's early access, so I mean I get it, but. If you're a diehard like this style game player, maybe you figure this shit out like really quick because you're just used to the style of game.
Right.
But I feel like even for early access, I feel like it's the biggest part to me it's lacking is like I should be able to mouse over something and it should fucking tell me what it does. You know what I mean? Or at the very least have like a little question mark thing that you click. Because the tutorial it does have...
like an encyclopedia or something, like a...
The tutorial it does have, like, just annoyed me and got in the way. Like, yeah, whatever, continue. It wasn't telling me any... Like, it told me, like, you need to do this, but didn't tell me how.
You right, like, it was like, go gather spice, and you're like,
Great, what do I do to do that, asshole? Oh, I need to steal a town. and capture
steal a town, then build a refinery,
and then
you can do it. Yeah.
And nothing tells me how to do any of that shit.
Well, I think what I need to do is have like a tutorial, because if you hit new, you're going straight into the game. So if you mess up early, you're probably screwed yourself.
Level.
Yeah,
an own specific tutorial level, maybe.
Maybe, but I feel like even if there was a tutorial, right? Even if there was, people are gonna go through a tutorial and then still be like in the main game, be like, wait, what does this do again?
Well, that's their fault.
No, but what I mean, like, it's not. Look, mouse over thing is a pretty common in everything from like game UI to fucking web pages. Like, there's no way you shouldn't be able to mouse over like the gold icon and have it tell me what the hell that says. You know what I mean?
Hey, Hex. Make yourself a little sad.
Make yourself sad?
Yeah. How come?
Did you run out of booze? That would make me sad.
So just from my understanding,
Leo, keep on for playing the real tutorial.
Yeah, but how do I do it?
What's this? What's the gimmick for?
But even SWO will like pop up and it'll see a thing like you need to spend this. And then you go in it and it's like you click those things. Like it's got little question marks. It has question marks that you click and there's text to read.
And also, once you hit the cap, it's like spend it, mofo. You've got it. Yeah. Keep spending. Yeah, it'll tell you, like, you've hit the cap. Do something about it.
Most importantly, it has a little question mark. And yes, people ignore that all the time. But if I was looking for it, I'd see a little question mark and go, I have a question. Let me click that. And so, that, to me, unless I've missed it, I have not seen... Like, I went into options and looked at the controls to just see what the basic controls were.
Right.
But I have not seen anything that told me what stuff does.
I thought I think my dad would like this, and kind of had to remind myself he passed away about a month ago. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hex.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that is rough. Sorry to hear that. But so spice. From what I can tell, what spice does is spice is essentially a resource that you need to pay off a bribe.
Well, it's not just that. Like, if you
gain money from it.
Yeah, because like you need that money to do stuff.
It's pretty much your primary money source, but you also need to keep a stockpile for bribing.
The Imperium.
And
that constantly goes up too.
For bribing people. So you need to keep some spice on hand, but you do need it to gather gold as well, or not gold. What do they call it?
Solari.
Solari. So like a sun, basically sun coins. I don't know.
Credits, coins.
It's cryptocurrency, is what it is.
NFTs.
Yeah, right, NFTs. Solari. Which then you use gold to, or you use Solari. Sorry, I'm gonna keep calling it gold. To basically do, you buy forces with it, you build buildings with it. Everything sort of has a gold cost to it,
and usually an upkeep cost as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, if you build a building, it's going to have an upkeep cost of like gold and something else, one of the other resources. So then you have the next one is what?
Plascrete.
Plascrete. Okay, plastic concrete. I like it.
C4.
Yeah.
I'm building everything out of C4. And detonate that.
Boom. Which is basically like building materials. So you need that primarily to build structures. Then you have manpower, which is just, I guess, forces. So like if you're going to build an army, you need manpower to do it. Then it's, what is it? Energy?
Fuel cells.
Fuel cells. For your ornithopters and other things. I didn't get to that point yet.
I think you can use for like your harvesters.
Harvesters? Okay, yes.
You also build troop carriers as well. But the thing is that you don't need you don't have to worry about fuel cells if you're playing as a Fremen because they have no use for it.
Okay.
Because they use sandworms as a quick travel.
And
people didn't want to play Fremen. Fuck that. Everyone wants to play.
you ride the freaking sandworms.
Well, as you listen to a rocking Toto track.
Number one goddamn question for any Dune game ever. Can I ride a sandworm?
Yeah. Can I ride it? Can it be my
pet? Then you play the Ride It song.
Then there's water, which water is that's basically turns into Star Wars. Fuck. So you need water farms. Uncle Owen,
it's water farm. You get it from the wind somehow.
Yeah, wind traps.
Yeah. Condensation from wind.
Condensation. You have authority. I think you can sell that. I'm pretty sure I was selling authority.
Yeah, authority, which I guess it's more of a political.
Well,
I don't know. Authority is more like I don't know how violence. It's basically like just how powerful
leadership and reach. I think maybe it affects your influence or something because I sold a shit ton of it and I think I didn't have influence anymore.
Right, so
I'm pretty sure that's what I was selling. I didn't know what all the icons were. I just knew the stuff I had a bunch of and I could sell.
What's that one?
This is your Landsrad standing. This is like you're voting with the other houses in Fremen. Okay. And not Fremen because they don't have any standing in the Landsrad.
Neither do the smugglers. Smugglers don't get votes either. So
yeah, so it's just the Harkonnen and the Arrakis. I mean, not Arrakis, but Atreides.
Atreides. They're the only ones who can really vote, and all you can do on this side as the Fremen or whatnot is just basically like I don't know.
Well, you can
push people's votes around.
Yeah, you can incite rebellion, and you can do that.
And right, and then there's the one that's not listed, which is all the way on the right hand side on the panel.
This one.
What's that one?
That's hegemony.
Oh, that's hegemony. That's basically how big you are.
Politically, right? Because it looks like it's.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not just politically.
I don't think it's just politically. I think it's actual size as well.
Overall power over Dune.
Yeah.
Some thresholds because you unlock depending on how high you can get your hegemony.
And well, that's just the time. But no, all the way on the right, on the one that's going down, the middle button.
Middle button.
Do you see those three buttons underneath the three pictures of the different factions?
Oh, these guys.
Yes, the one in the middle.
That's the Landsrad Council.
The council, yes. Right underneath that, there's the little blue symbol for your influence.
Yep.
So there's also influence, and then you can use your influence for like a one-time thing when it comes to voting.
Oh, and you have agents. You have
agents too. Yeah, you have the agent system. Oh, wrapping it all in. Coming back to whatever point we were making.
Yeah. No, but I mean, for real, like, have you done that? Have you looked at the agents?
Mm-hmm.
I have like fucking 8 agents out there or something.
Mm-hmm. I did because when I started playing last night, I started as the smugglers, and the smugglers I think they get influence. They get a lot of influence to start, and they do a lot of spying. So you could start throwing a whole bunch of stuff into the spying side.
I played House Harkonnen. I just wanted to kill shit.
It's fair.
But I still ended up with a bunch of agents.
Now, the thing that that you basically notice when you play this is that it's not like overly unit heavy. It's not like you're making and setting them out.
Yeah, that's actually probably one of my complaints.
It's basically like you start with maybe I had a point when I had 5 units. At one point.
Well, also, actually, one unit is it's not a unit, it's a unit. And I know that sounds confusing. When I train one unit of gunner, it's not like I got one gunner.
Mm-mm.
There's 3.
You get a little team, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a unit, as in a group of, not because at first I thought man, this is a lot for just 3 guys. Mm-hmm. But it was 9 or 12 guys or something, right?
Yeah,
it's a group per. So that wasn't clear at first, and I was a little confused until they showed up, and I was like, oh, okay.
And also the fact that it takes like playing the smugglers, it said each unit basically takes like 20 manpower. So I figure it's like if that's 20 manpower, that basically means that it's what, like 20 people, like 20 guys in it, maybe.
And you can also raise militia from places you've captured.
Yes. So go ahead and play a bit.
Yeah.
As the first thing you're basically going to do is right, you send out your little thing there, and it
I put them on auto recon.
Auto recon. I have not seen auto recon since, and this is going to be a deep cut here. I haven't seen it since it's a Star Trek real-time strategy game, and Star Trek Armada is what it's called, and it's basically real-time strategy, and it's Star Trek. And one of the things you could do is, right, you could take like a couple of forces and just be like, go explore. Just go out there and explore. Like, and then they'll just slowly go around and fill out the entire map for you, which is a nice little touch.
Mm-hmm. So we just discovered this one village here.
I think I had made it to where I had like captured like 4 other villages.
Yeah, that's about the point that I made. I captured like 4 other villages. I had like things built up in each village, and
I had like missile defense systems.
Oh, I didn't get that. I didn't put any of those.
Yeah, I had at least 2 villages had missile defense systems.
I could see where those would be handy.
Well, because I expanded to the right as Harkonnen, and like one of the other groups from over there kept coming my way. So not only did I have a lot of fights, but I wanted like backup. Also, I noticed that, like if you hold shift, it fast forwards temporarily while you're holding the key.
Yeah.
And this is a part that I feel
what?
like
If you hold shift, what?
It does the fast forward.
It's a fast forward.
Oh, okay.
But just while you're holding it.
Okay.
So like you hold down shift and then let go, and it goes back to normal speed. Because in the top right, you can set the speed like permanently to faster.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave it that way and then click it. But it's really cool that you can have normal speed and then just hold shift for a second while your troops walk. So you're not waiting for them to like walk across the screen. You just hold shift down and then let go of shift.
I didn't notice that. I just let them walk.
Yeah. I figured that out.
I was like, they'll get there eventually. It's fine.
I will say that, like, so I like the shift, but I feel like it could go faster, and I also feel like combat is unnecessarily slow. Like,
that seemed to be my overall point, is that the gameplay itself ends up being very, very slow.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know if that's just because I'm just a slow player, and so I paused it a lot to like to check around stuff or whatnot. I mean,
it makes sense if you're pausing if it's slow, but I mean, like, when you're actively trying to do something, like the amount of time, like real time it takes, even if you're holding shift down, the amount of real time it takes to like cover ground or even just fight, like, holy shit, man. I had like 5 or 6 groups, like, 5 or 6 units go somewhere and fight, like, and there's like three enemy units there at the town, and even on fast forward, holy fuck, it's like it was their little health bars are like going, they're like firing, and it's like I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, really? Like, there's no reason that needs to be that way. You guys need to like take the health down so every fight isn't a bullet sponge battle or something. Like, there's no reason you can't decide that quicker.
I wonder if it's balanced, because one of the things that the smugglers do is and I also take this from their own post. They say smugglers. No, it actually doesn't say it in this. Oh well. But one of the things that the smugglers do, that the units do, is that if you go outside of your borders, you start losing. There's this little yellow bar underneath, and that's called your supply. And once you go outside of your own borders, you start losing this supply. And then if that supply runs out, then you start losing health. And something that the smugglers faction does is, while you're in combat with smugglers, they're constantly stealing your supplies.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Just do it faster.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
so I wonder if it's sort of balanced because for that reason, like
I guess what I'm saying is even if it's balanced, then you need to be able to speed up combat instead of like by 2 times, by like 6
we got worm
times,
sign
8 times or something.
You got worms. The sands are shifting.
One of my very first fights, like fucking worm came up and swallowed half of my group and the opposing group.
Yeah, I had that same issue too.
I thought it was cool though. It was a really good introduction to the worms. I was like, that's actually cool as fuck. And it didn't like obliterate me any more than the other guy.
I didn't actually see like a worm incoming. So right there at the very top where all like the info bars across the top, you'll see like a couple of blinking icons.
Oh yeah.
Those blinking icons are actually super important.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's why they're blinking.
That is why they're blinking. They're very tiny though. I kind of want them to be a little bigger.
Well, it's also a lot of the time, especially like Siege Found, they kind of stack. Like also, I had like 3 or 4 stacked. I'm like, okay, which one?
So like red ones are telling you that there's fights ongoing and that sandworms are coming. And right, the one was just like, hey, you should research something. Like I didn't find that one for a while because I didn't pay much attention to them until they really started building up, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta do something. And the one on the far left that's blinking is the tutorial.
Yeah,
it's a quest basically, or quest mission.
Yeah, it's basically says, okay, go get your harvester started.
Go get your spice, mofo. And then other times stuff will just show up there, and if you do whatever it wants within that time period, you get whatever the reward is for it. So yeah, so I found it fun. I found it a little slow, but engrossing.
Yeah, I mean, I will say like it was frustrating at first, like literally having to ferret out what every little thing is, because like nothing tells you what anything is at all ever.
And so I think there's going to be a lot of that sort of self-discovery, but sort of that learn as you go sort of style.
And I feel like this style of game needs more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Personally. Like even like, okay, when you look at some of that stuff, like it'll have like a little description in like italics, but it doesn't tell you.
It's more flavor text than
Okay, so just for example, in one of the things, when you can build a refinery, there's another thing you can build to like get more out of your spice refinery.
Spice silo.
And it tells you can only do that on a something plane.
Yeah, it's this one here. You can only do wind trap, spice silos. Hold harvested spice when a refinery completes. Yeah, this one right here.
No, but the bottom of that box says requires something.
Requires a Gridix plane.
Yeah, what the fuck is a Gridix plane?
I think most of those, it's either a physical location or it's a technological advancement.
Right, but this is my point. A lot of that stuff, like it says requires, and then like great, but what is that? You know what I mean?
Requires
like there's
5 widgets, and you're like, great, what's a widget?
Yeah, there's no like connection. Like, okay, great, make that clickable so I can go see what that is, and see if that's something. Because I wanted to do a silo, and I had all the other resources to do it, but I didn't meet the requirement.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing tells me. It tells me there's a requirement, but not how to meet that requirement. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was
like I found it hard to, like, if you click on your harvester, it'll say like 0 of 1 crew. And it took me forever to figure out how to make that 1 out of 1 crew.
Yeah, because you have to click right here. This add crew.
And I was like, can it not do that? I was like, does that? What does that do?
Wait, it works without. How does it work without a crew member? I'm pretty sure I never did that.
Well, it's slower, but if you add a crew member or add more, your production ramps up.
Yeah, it increases production.
Yeah.
Never saw that.
Yeah, see, like, yeah.
Just straight up never noticed.
So right now it feels like it's.
This is what I mean. It looks really good. I think it plays well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's early access, so this is the time. I don't expect everything to be there.
No.
So I'm not mad that it's not there.
And they're fully like, this is early access. There's a shit ton that's not there. We have a shit ton more planned.
So I feel like they honestly have the basics working pretty well. Like it felt like a fully playable game, and even the polish is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
It's just that it sort of demands that you know everything already, to a certain extent, or are really good at just Sherlock Holmesing the shit out of, because nothing you have to like basically context clues and go through all the menus and try and figure out, and that's assuming that you can even do the thing, because maybe in the faction you're in you can't, or maybe in the location you're in you can't, but nothing tells you that.
Like when it gets to the Landsrad point and it was like, oh, use your votes, and I started as a smuggler faction, and I was like, oh, I don't have any votes. I don't get votes. What am I doing? And it had like three different things.
I did that, and it was even then, even with votes, it was confusing because
you're like, why do I care about any of this shit?
Well, I saw some of the stuff I cared about, but it was like, okay, support or decline, but then how many votes do I allocate to the thing, and who am I voting against? And then additionally, the other thing that's weird with that is like, it'll come up and say these ones are coming, and then you can't click anything. It's just sort of like, these are the ones that are coming up, I guess, is like a notification. And then you're like, all right, I guess. You close the window.
Well, that's a point where the smuggler faction comes into play, because in that window, the smugglers can, the smugglers can pay an amount, and then anybody who votes for that thing gets like money for voting for it. So that's a smuggler tactic.
Interesting.
So when that comes up, there's a way to basically make it so that you can
like
balance it.
They have the windows coming up no matter what, and they need to have some of those only come up per the right faction.
Right.
Because
not necessarily every faction, yeah.
It doesn't make sense for me to see the ones that I can't do anything on. It doesn't make sense for you to see the ones you can't do anything on.
Right.
They're just coming up regardless, currently.
I like how we all chose a different faction to start playing with, though.
Yeah, I started with Fremen the other night.
I started with smugglers, you started with Harkonnen, and Waffle started with Fremen.
Yeah, that's actually really good, though.
Yeah, no, it ends up,
Oh, it means we got different enough experiences to.
So here I got a raid coming in.
Different about those menus.
Landsrad, please vote. Smuggler, we don't do that around here. Yeah, we don't vote, but we do throw around influence like it's going out of style. And I wasn't sure if influence was just like votes or what it does. I wasn't sure. But influence was something that like you can spend, but you don't get back.
This is what I'm talking about. Look how long, even when they're like at one tick, it fucking takes forever for them to fall, like for them to actually die. It was like you can hold shift to speed it up a little bit, but when you have heavier units and the enemy has heavier units, oh Jesus Christ, dude, it's like those health bars are like. And I had if you have a fight near your center base, by the way, it will launch missiles. The very center one, and I had a village that had a missile thing.
You could build missile silos too, yeah. It does the same thing.
And so my guys were fighting in between the main base and the village with the missile silo, and so there was missiles coming from both sides to hit the enemy, and my guys were fighting the enemy, and it still took like what seemed like forever for the health bars to be like chink, chink. It's like, what the fuck?
The only thing that's immediate is
here we
sandworms.
So here's the Landsrad Council.
Yeah, okay, so what do you do here?
Nothing right now.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. If you're playing Smuggler, you could do something. There's like 3 boxes below that can do stuff. Yeah.
Whereas we don't get to do that. So
you don't got nothing. Yeah.
Annoying and confusing because you're like, well.
With the Fremen, I can do like Incite Revolution. for whichever one I want. I would have like, hey, you need to do water regulation. That'd be great. Just to screw out the other houses.
And there was one
but you
point,
can't do anything right now, right?
No.
Like,
I don't have any options.
No, not until the actual vote. But there was.
So this screen should only pop up at the right time for your faction, in my opinion, because it doesn't make any sense before that. Have you tried equipping your troops to take lifts and advance lifts? No.
That's why it takes forever, you see. Yes, it's a hit chance.
Well, okay, even so, just speed it up. Like, let them miss 5 times quicker, thanks.
Raise it from 20 to 80, please.
Yeah, just make it go fucking faster.
Now I got a trade request.
Now, see, okay, what's he asking for? He just wants influence. He's like, please, give me influence.
I, never got trade requests, but I went and traded people anyways.
Part of the trade request is, right, you could also, if you go and, here, go try to make a trade with, I don't know, whoever. Yeah. So you get, so part of the trade is that it shows you, it has these little ups and downs as to what your faction and their faction want. So you can make a trade back and forth. And I wasn't paying attention to the actual, I wonder if you put something down, he goes oh, yeah. Or oh, no, I don't want that. Oh,
the animation? Yeah. I didn't pay attention. It did change there.
Well,
look at that. It went gold and he did. Yeah. He did a little thumbs up thing.
Well, that's just his idle animation.
Oh, that in general?
Oh, no, there you go.
No, look.
No, yeah, he just made when it went down to red, and he's like,
that seems acceptable.
See? Nice. That's a cool little.
But you also got there's 3 contracts underneath there too.
Yeah. Research agreement, trade, or non-aggression.
What I found out, I thought, was it in my playthrough? I had the Fremen come up on my western side, and so I was like, I'll do the peaceful route right now because I'm expanding the other direction. So I tried doing the non aggression pact because, again, it says you actually need to research something first before you can even do non-aggression pacts. So I couldn't do a non-aggression pact, but I did the middle one. I did the
trade
agreement. Yeah, I was like, hey, why don't we both get money and we'll spend the little government buildings, whatever. And they were like, sure, okay. I was like, all right, cool. We got this going on. We're both making money.
I will say for an early access game, it's got a lot of depth.
There's a lot going on here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a fuck ton going on, and I don't really feel like anything mechanically feels missing.
Yeah.
It's just the knowledge to do anything with it or impart that knowledge to you is missing.
There's 1,000 systems that are going on at the same time.
Which is kind of unfortunate because I feel like this does kind of negatively affect testing the game.
I feel like
in some ways.
I feel like if you were to do a campaign, the campaign would basically start you out slow and introduce this faction, and they would introduce this system. Then another one would have you do primarily use spying as the primary thing, and then so basically to ramp you up into using all of them at the same time. In this case, it's early access. They just went, here's the gameplay. Yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff that would be introduced over time through a campaign.
Yeah.
Before it just let you loose into just the open multiplayer. Well, not multiplayer. They don't.
I still feel like there's just a layer of it's like they know how it works because they made it.
Yeah. Right.
And if you come into it cold, you're like, where the fuck is the manual for this?
It's us playing Conan Unconquered and not making any.
That was great. And okay, so here's the thing I'm gonna say. One thing it does is you might get some decent feedback just because people stumble into things or into situations they wouldn't if they knew everything, right?
Right. Yeah.
So there is some potential benefit in early access to just being you figure it out, and seeing what happens. But I do also think you can kind of shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. I am sort of a fan of that style because I feel like that's exploration to a point that a lot of games that say like, oh, we're into exploration. Like to me, that's also exploration.
Yeah, exploration
of
is
all the systems.
Fucking like seeing what's around the corner, not diving into the UI for 30 minutes trying to figure out how the fuck to do something. At least in my opinion, that's not.
Or for me, it's more like go do that thing, and then you start doing the thing, and it's just like we don't know what's going on, and it's like, well, why don't you know what's going on? Oh, because you need that thing. Oh, because you need that thing to do that thing, to do this thing.
Yeah, but my problem is it says I need that thing, and then it doesn't tell me what that thing is, or where to go to get it, or how to.
Your harvester. Oh, it's being picked up.
I got it on auto recall.
Okay. Right, you can put your harvester on auto recall, which protects it from sandworms.
The problem with auto recall is it doesn't auto deploy afterwards.
Yeah, you gotta keep on that.
You gotta go deploy it again. That was annoying.
Right, because it'll turn around and be like, yeah, you have to redeploy it. But also,
get a warning saying like, hey, buddy, you probably should do that.
Well, the same for like this problem right here. I have 2 sandworm warnings. Okay, but one goes away because I had the harvester, and there was another one that was over here.
And now it says your harvester is not doing nothing, so you should have your harvester do something.
I gotta deploy it.
That lasted all 2 seconds.
Yeah. But I saw where if you don't have it on auto, so it gets it out of danger automatically, that it's gives you more.
Oh, really?
It's something like if you have it, like click on your harvester. Is it what's the bottom part? The that button.
Disable.
Will automatically recall when a sandworm is detected.
What did it say?
If you disable it, does it go up or something?
Or you can
No, not dismantle. Not dismantle. If you disable auto recall, does your resources go up? Or the ones that amount it's pulling?
No.
Where did I see that? Is it in the right there? It is. What's that say?
Harvester will automatically be recalled upon danger. -5% spice reduction.
Yeah, so if you disable auto recall, you'll get more spice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if I do that,
but then you have to be super paying attention to every time it says that there are worms in the area.
The risk reward sort of factor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess they figured it out as 5%. That's the.
Yeah, there's just so much stuff that it's like if you for the most part, if you mouse over stuff or click things, you'll eventually figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still stuff that in those windows, you just have no frame of reference for. Right? There's just still that knowledge base missing. Now, I haven't gone looking. Maybe they have some of that on a website somewhere or something. If not, they really should. You should be able to like look up some of this shit in some other fashion.
So basically have their own wiki, essentially.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Like, I think even for early access, like, it would be beneficial to be like, look, we're going to have stuff in the game later, but for now, here's how you know.
Yeah. Here's a system. Here are links to what it connects to that go to the other pages that show you what that thing is that, connects back. And
I mean, I guess it could even be community driven at that point. It could be like a community wiki. I don't really care if it's official or not, but like, I do feel, at least for release, the game needs to have more than it does.
Mm-hmm.
Because as it stands, I think if I wasn't committed to giving the early access a shot, right? If I wasn't like committed to it and just came into it cold,
mm-hmm.
I'd probably get in there for like 5 minutes and be like, "What the fuck is going on here?" and just exit out. You know. And I'm not saying I'd never come back, but I would literally have to go hunting around.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wasn't for me having a more vested interest in getting to know it,
you feel like it would be off-putting.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Like the hardcore was it RTS people?
Mm-hmm.
Like most of that shit is probably going to be like second nature. It's just a different icon for something they're already used to.
But I agree, right? There's so many systems. There's such that knowledge base. But at the same time, you can tell there's a lot of nuance and there's a lot of depth.
There is for sure.
On.
Like even like I'm pretty sure you can affect that trade market just by holding stockpile for a while and increasing the trade value before you push it up again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's an actual, like, stock market system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you, like, I think if you're always selling, you're devaluing your spice. You actually probably want to stockpile it for a while, so the conversion rate goes up. I'm almost positive. In fact, I think with certain
like
factions,
the more you trade, just the more it's gonna go up on their own stockpile.
Certain factions want more of certain things, but even with certain factions, I think when I was trading them a bunch of stuff, it started to like be like a worse and worse trade for me. Right? Like, I think you start devaluing your own stock, which is really cool and like realistic. But again, nothing really tells you that system is happening. It's just sort of, it's there and it makes sense.
What are you doing?
They're getting attacked.
Just running in circles?
Yeah.
You're just kiting that one around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, this part of this, like, I wanted to do combat. And unfortunately, I feel like the combat is a little bit lackluster. Like, it's not like the animations are necessarily bad or anything.
Uh-oh.
It's just slow.
No, I've played one other 4X game. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I don't think it was Stellaris.
Oh, yeah, militia there anyway, so. Yeah, see, they're getting range on.
And then look at that, no damage it does.
No.
Oh, it does.
Civilization?
It does some damage, but it's just, there's a missile that came in, and it takes so many.
It's called Sins of a Solar Empire. That's what I played. And Sins of a Solar Empire is 4X and it's space. And I want to say it felt similar in time frame as far as like combats go. Like, you'd send out like, but the other side of that coin is that in that game you would send out like 20 forces, and so you could decimate something real quick. Whereas this,
I mean, I can send out 20 forces and it's still slow as shit.
Right. In this one, you're only allotted maybe like 5, 6 forces.
I also noticed that if you've captured a village and you build like a missile defense silo at the village, and then a raiding party shows up, the missile defense shoots at them until they start compromising the village, and then it stops. Now, mind you, they haven't captured the village back from you yet. Right? The bar's slowly going up. But as soon as they're occupying at all, your missile stops firing, which is, I feel, kind of bullshit.
That is, yeah. Like, it should
like,
keep
I have
going.
a missile defense for a reason. It should keep shooting until they take it over or destroy the missile. Yeah. Why would it stop just because they're occupying?
There's nobody there to control it, I guess.
I don't know. It's just like, then what is the point of putting it there? You know, it feels like a waste of defense resources if it's not actually going to defend.
And what was a point that you made that you feel like this map should be able to be rotatable?
Yeah, especially like when you're in this view, it's not so bad, but when you zoom down, this feels like I want to rotate around. And then I can't. This weird sideways movement feels like I'm stuck. Like, I want to turn. I want to look at it from the other angle. But when you're up, it's more like standard isometric, and it's not a big deal. Like, I don't feel the need to rotate. But for whatever reason, when I'm in this view, I just you see how you see something coming from the off screen? It feels like I want to turn to look at it, and I can't.
You're like, why did my harvester return? I want to be able to see the sandworm coming from that angle.
Yeah, well, it's literally almost first person mode, but you're locked in a rail forwards. That's like how it's just a aspect of how the camera is. Now, to tell you like why I don't think this was a problem in Conan and Conquer, which had a similar like interface. Because it just zoomed down from the same angle, you know? So like, Waffle, if you
and right, so it went up, but it came down, but it was still top down.
Yeah. Like, can you take your view back up? Yeah, if it was like this and then came down from this angle and just zoom down, I'd be fine. But when it goes into like first person, but you can only basically strafe left and right, it feels really locked. In my opinion.
Well, so I think I found a bug here because my wind trap was pretty much constructed, but there was civil unrest. Took care of that, but now it's stuck in construction mode.
What's that green refresh button above the?
Oh, that's this organized supply. It's you get negative.
That's an ability. That's a building.
But I guess it's
one of the other buildings in the area gives you discounts on stuff.
But it's finished because I'm getting the water. Oh, see, then it goes back into a construction mode again.
It's in perpetual construction.
Yeah. Well, no, it's finished, but it's just the animation is stuck in that.
That looks like a bug.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Mission accomplished.
We found bugs.
We found a bug.
None of your units got eaten by sandworms yet, but we found bugs. And the thing about the wind traps is it's plus water for every level of wind in the region. If you click on the region, it'll tell you its wind strength.
Right.
Right here in the bottom left.
And so that changes per region as well.
Yeah, because you got that one's 5. These around here are 4.
Now, have you tried doing anything with the like the downed ornithopters yet, or like?
I have. You get like intel, like how much intel that you can use for doing operations.
Right. So it like gives you a choice. So in this case, that one you're on was an abandoned Fremen camp, and you can either get study the tracks, which gives you what you do in your spy area. You can set to you can set your spies to go, look at the area or infiltrate other groups or what have you. Or you could just send over an ornithopter and just immediately get some plascrete.
Yeah, plascrete.
Plascrete. You can get some gray stuff. Yeah. You got gold, you got gray stuff.
You got gray stuff in them hills.
You got bathroom signs. And I think when you have a whole bunch of no, I didn't encounter any sandworms until like a little later when I was playing. I was sort of wondering why they were all staying away. But then I realized, like, the more I would have a battle like this going on, all of a sudden sandworms would show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the motion on the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to pretty much on it because all your units can get eaten
at once.
Yeah,
at once. Yeah, that decimated me in my gameplay. Right, I was doing this. I was attacking a village. I used like 3 forces to go attack the village, and while I was doing
all my guys walking, they just died walking across the sand. I honestly think, now thinking about it, I think that was a bug.
If you're outside of your boundaries, it's your supply running out.
I understand that, but they were full health, and they're walking back towards the boundary, which wasn't that far away.
Okay.
And they really went like this far. They're like,
yeah.
Like.
Okay, that sounds like a bug.
Like that seemed a little aggressive. I was like, are you fucking serious? Because you walked all the way out there. You did the fight. I can't port you back because you can't airlift outside of your boundary.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what the fuck? You can't walk back? So they went to walk up the hill and they just went. And it was, like, pretty instantaneous. Like, when they're fighting, the health goes down really slow. This was like they took one step and lost like half their health, and the next step they were dead. So I was like, all right, sure, fine, whatever.
Why not?
I guess I'll just make all new troops.
Combat too slow? Don't worry, Sandworm Senpai is coming to the rescue. much.
Like you didn't really need those units, did you? No.
So that was my thing. Is all right. I went and started attacking this settlement that was a little far outside of my range. And all of a sudden I saw, I think I saw it a little too late. It was like, sandworm incoming. And I was like, no, that's like almost all of my forces. And it just, destroyed all my forces, and then the Fremen on the other side decided to attack me at that point, even though I had like a trade agreement with them. They still decided to attack me. So a trade agreement is not non-aggression. You can be aggressive with somebody and still want to attack them, I guess. They sneak attacked me in my zone that had the harvester, and I was like, no, bad
the
Fremen.
Time is now 11:11. That's a Secret World quote for you.
Mm-hmm. And it is. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I liked what I saw.
I could play more of it. I just want like a fucking manual.
Oh, but remember when games like Civ 1, Civ 2, when they came out, they did have manuals. The game boxes had manuals.
Oh yeah.
And they weren't small manuals. They were like 120, 130 page manuals.
Or like at least, like I said, at least like better fucking like hints on, like, look, to be fair, they have a lot of mouse over stuff. You can mouse over things and it tells you like, oh, this requires this requires that.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs, just because of the depths of its systems, it needs more than that. Like
it needs one of those like walls with all the different parts interconnecting, like all the different red lines. You see in this part.
Because have you even seen like the agent section yet on this playthrough?
Yeah, I've already been placing agents in there.
Because when I look at that screen, I have no idea what the hell's going on. I just threw agents at different sections. It's like, yeah, sure, this seems good. Like, I have no clue what the hell is happening there.
I would say when you're not battling, you should take a look at it.
Yeah.
Because I focused a little more on that because there was
because you were a smuggler too.
Smuggler, right? So yeah. So I basically was getting agents left and right, and so I had to put them in somewhere. Now I wasn't sure. One of the things you get from that is intel. I did not figure out what the heck intel did.
Yeah, I still don't know what influence does either, other than when you don't have it, you get penalized for not having any. I found that out.
I thought the influence was basically used during the Landsrad as votes, but not votes that weren't votes.
Yeah, but if you have zero influence, like you get like a flashing like thing with a line through it, and you have to fix it. Like it's kind of like owing the tax. Like it's really bad.
Like you are non-influential. Mofo.
Yeah, if you have zero influence on the planet, apparently that's a bad thing, which I guess makes sense, right? If you're on a planet you have zero influence in, you probably are in trouble. And it said something about you need to do something with villages for that. And I was like, I have like 4 captured villages. What are you talking about? I did not understand the message that it gave, which again, I think is like a clarity issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have these systems and they make sense if you know them. But if you don't know them already, then it's like, okay, well, what are you trying to say? But again, none of that's like a damning.
It's not a killer, yeah.
I'm not like trying to shit on the game. I'm just saying like it's for like a day one early access. Dude, amazingly playable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. Like there you go. Like click on the your agent. Yeah, there you go.
The agent system here. I was like, sure, I'll put someone somewhere.
So if you put them on the left side, you basically are doing something against one of the factions, and you gain what do you gain from each one of those? You gain intel production and
infiltration production.
Right. And so okay, so you put the one agent in there, and your little bar is not moving it up now. There's a bar underneath of it that says level 1, and it's not moving up, and that's because you have one agent in there which gives 10 infiltration, but in the second level there is infiltration resistance. And so he's in there, but now he's not actually doing anything. However, if you remove him from there, you stop. It starts going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only have him. You have him in there like up to a certain point, and so it's good to keep them in basically one area. But once the one agent hits to level 1, it stops moving upwards. So your other ones are in the Arrakis, which is like discovering stuff on the map.
Sieges, because that's where the raiding parties are coming from.
Your Sieges. Mm-hmm. And what's the other one? Spacing Guild? I don't know what that really.
It's manpower production.
It gives you manpower production and
intel production.
Oh, you also have missions. And one of the other factions kept poisoning my reserves.
Yeah, I kept doing.
That's what you use the intel for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I sold intel. I sold a fuck ton. I traded intel to other factions a ton. That's probably why they kept poisoning me.
Probably.
It's like, look at this stupid dumbass.
I didn't care. I got the gold and bought soldiers and went and shot them in the face.
Oh, but do you have to put them in the operations one above that? Is that what that one is? There's one place for the agents. There's another one for counterintelligence. So that means anyone that does something against you, you have a chance to basically prevent it. A tiny chance, but a chance nonetheless. Like 1% daily capture chances of an enemy agent.
The systems design on this thing is fucking insane.
1% is like...
The number of parallel systems happening at the same time is fucking ridiculous.
But I guess you can put it in the
impressive way.
Yeah, yeah. It's all interconnected.
It's all interconnected, and it's all happening literally all the time.
Operations stacks here when missions are operatives. It's really tiny on my screen.
Oh, it's operations stacks here.
Operations stacks here when missions are complete. Yeah. What the hell that means? So, like, can you actually send someone on one of those?
Like, if I want to do, let's see, I only got 16 intel right now.
So probably not.
So I can't do anything right now.
No. You must understand that. The thing on the left shows you how much intel Harkonnen has, because you have them selected.
Oh, your resources, though. Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. Those are their resources.
That's right, yeah. Where is our resources?
I think it's above when it says missions, and then it's right next to it.
Oh, right here,
255 intel, so you've got plenty.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Go,
Go probe a worm.
Yeah, we'll do probe.
So then you could also pick a different faction and then do a different mission, probably. Right, the blue or the yellow on the left?
Yeah, on either of these two, Fremen or the smugglers.
Mm-hmm.
But you need an agent in one of them.
Right.
So you got,
that makes sense.
For right now, you got to move stuff around. But right now I get manpower production. So I'm only at 3 right now. So.
And also on top of that, those individual agents have specific things that they give you too.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to make it even more confusing.
I still don't know how I got my manpower up to like 450 or 500. I have no idea how the hell that happened. Because I also did not have like any troops. They all died. So how was my manpower that high? I don't know.
My guess is probably from the Landsrad. Because
maybe
when they do a Landsrad, you get like all of a sudden everyone will get either the same stuff, or there'll be certain things like your faction just got screwed by something, or your faction was given this thing, this good thing.
I got hit with the one where like all my fucking guys cost like plus 300% to train.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was fun.
I got hit with one that was my manpower was suddenly reduced to almost nothing, and I started to have a reduction in manpower because it was like, oh, everything costs 30% more, and I was like, what?
No, like mine was like, oh, your soldier that your one unit costs 1,000 Solaris now. 1,000 Solaris for one unit.
Yeah, because right now, because I'm like in the grace period, but I have to actually look for another spice field because my tax is continually going up every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at 266. So it's going to take more and more of my stockpile, and eventually it's going to tip where I'm in the red, and then I won't be able to pay, and then that totally screws you up.
And how does I didn't get to a point where I wasn't paying that tax.
Oh, it gives you like negative 10% if you've missed like 2 or 3. At 4, it goes up to 20%.
So it's just a reduction in
your Chillum production and Solari. So you start losing a lot of cash influx.
They tax you to heck and back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So eventually you're
stockpiling.
Them enough,
they tax you.
Yeah, eventually you're stockpiling like everything, but it doesn't. You only have 25 days or whatever it was to get enough in your stockpile to pay the tax.
Now, yeah, if you mouse over one of those things, it has basically your total, and then it has a green number next to it. So if you go over your Solari, for example, and it will tell you what you're spending it on. So it'll be like, here's where your income's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So your Choem sales, that's your selling your spice, and your agents are making you 10 more. Good old agents. But then it tells you everything that's then costing you. So to balance out how much you're making and what your upkeep and whatever is. It's deep. It's deep. It's very deep.
Yeah, then you also have that, and you got your Plascrete, and then your manpower has the same functions as well.
It shows you what you're making it from, and it shows you what you're spending it on.
Yep. So it's always good to find like the negative 20 or 30% upkeep cost that helps you out, because each village is a little bit different. Like this one, I gained 20 Solari per enemy units dying in allied territory.
Okay.
This one is negative 20% building construction cost, and are constructed 20% faster.
Okay, I don't think I even realized that was a thing.
Yeah, yeah. Each one is different.
That I was getting like weird things from each village I had.
Like this one, allied units in this region gain 2+2 supply per day outside combat.
Now, one thing you can do also is if instead of keeping a village, you can just raise it to the ground.
Not Atreides. You can't pillage, and you can't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Fremen and the others you can. Yeah. And Arkan.
Smugglers can.
I can raise things.
Can raise it to the ground.
Because the Atreides have, the honor code. They don't pillage and whatever.
I guess if you really want to screw someone over as smugglers, you take over their village that has the spice field in it, and then you just destroy that village.
Yeah.
You're like, take it back. Go ahead. I dare you. Fade away.
Now, I wonder if I can take this one because it's got a spice field, but I know.
Right. So this game also works in these little zones, and so each zone will have a village, and it will have sometimes a thing. It'll have another thing in it.
Yeah.
So and that increases fuel cell factory resource production.
Plus, also it has for Fremen only. It allows for the construction of a ceremonial caves in a local village.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to figure out which way you want to expand.
All right. What's a ceremonial cave? What does that do?
Oh, I think that's like a fast travel,
cool.
Like from village to village. I believe. I know I'm probably wrong on that.
I know is like the little silver one there is like
this is Plascrete, yep.
So that's really nice. The gold one is I think just money.
Well, actually it's rare elements. Processing plant.
The processing plant I think gives you extra cash for it.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah, I didn't get that far because I was trying to keep my guys alive and function.
And it wasn't working.
No. So yeah, the only so far that I found this other spice field over here. So I'm gonna probably take my guys and take over this one.
Okay.
Because I was originally going to take this one, and this one, but that's going to require a lot of water. Because you have your village consumption is 5. So you got.
So each village costs you water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you need a way to actually replenish that water. Mostly by building
wind traps. Yeah.
Water collectors, water farms. Build more farms.
I forgot to see what they have in there. Okay.
And what size map did you start on? Do you start on a large map or a medium-sized map? Or?
I didn't choose any.
Oh. And it probably is a default.
Yeah.
Did you choose a map?
I did. I chose medium.
And
what I found is that if you zoom all the way out, you can see there's it's gray, but then there's a different you can see it. Yeah. There's a gray, the fog, and then in the outside. And that's a hard edge. So you can't go beyond that edge. Oh. So the map just doesn't keep expanding in one direction. It just actively stops.
Oh, your mission finished. Probe setup.
What did you get? What'd you get? You set up a probe.
And my guys are going to die.
Run. Back to your territory. Go.
Plus, there's also a sandworm.
Is that a storm?
Yeah, you also got a sandstorm.
Oh, that's
so you don't want
to get one of those.
Yeah, you don't want any units in it because they do take damage. And also had a sandworm sign as well.
Well, now you guys are gonna die.
Yeah, they're dead.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sandworms to the left of me, sandstorms to the right. Here I am. These are the jokes.
I'm here for it.
I did that joke and then I immediately looked over and I think I saw someone like the list of who's watching. Like someone suddenly left and I was like, oh, I knew it. It was a joke. I knew it.
Nope, I'm out.
Just can't appreciate the humor. That's all. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's gonna be easier to take out.
It looks like it's fun. To me personally, just having this it's fine, but it's not compelling.
I see what you mean. Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine just from the earlier conversations that you want a campaign.
I want a campaign, yes.
Compelling, and I think they realized that. It seemed like, remember, at least from one of the dev streams I saw, it seemed like they're like, yeah, we kind of understand that.
But in order to do it, but I know a campaign would be tough because basically, in order to make a campaign, you need a story, and when you're making a story, that's not just
Yeah. I mean, it sounded like they definitely were considering it, at least, and realized that like enough people were talking about that like maybe that's something we should potentially look at.
It's a North Pole. Yeah, here you can put in a water extractor at the North Pole.
Can you?
Yep. Because it depends on there's a town, I believe, right there.
Okay.
So you can take over that town, put an extractor, so then your water resources will be coming up a lot more.
Oh, okay.
But the Fremen don't do that because they don't exploit Arrakis, so they don't have that capability.
Dang. Fremen.
But everybody else is like, yeah, screw it. It's a planet. Take care of all the resources. Yeah, there's a town right there. Yeah, it's a polar sink.
I like how all your units have to explore around. I do like the ornithopter exploration. I think that's fun.
I got weirded out when I saw an opposite faction's ornithopter flying around my base. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And also, why can't I shoot you?
Why aren't you shooting that down?
Yeah, that was the weirdest part, is that they didn't seem to be able to attack the other ornithopters.
Right. Yeah. No, it is kind of weird that everyone's ornithopters are just like, yeah, we're just going everywhere, and it's like, yeah, but they're units. They should be attackable.
Yeah. Right. It just, I don't know. It seems weird.
Yeah, I might be losing that one.
Yeah. And then, okay. I was like, sandworm coming though. Sandworm coming.
I can get him out of there.
Did we see a sandworm yet? Have they eaten anyone's forces?
Not yet. I can sacrifice somebody.
Yeah, that was a really fun part when it was like my forces are running. And all of a sudden, I look over. It's like, well, what's going on there? And this giant like, okay, all right.
But also here you can see it's if the raid stays in the town, they'll liberate it, and then you'll have to reclaim it again.
Yeah, they're basically militia forces. Yeah.
Well, they're Fremen coming in from a siege nearby.
Are they Fremen or no? They're just.
Yeah, they come from a siege.
But they're not. They're
raiders.
Faction. No, they're just. They're like civilization's barbarians. They're like their own thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're like even if you're gonna be peaceful over here and you don't touch anybody else for a long time, you still got to deal with these guys. Get them. Run away.
Yeah, because you want to try to keep them alive because
it costs a lot to replace them. Yeah, your forces are pretty valuable. You don't get a whole bunch of them, and they're pretty valuable. So in order to replace them, you need the manpower and cash and who knows what else.
Yeah, the resources.
Yeah, and some of them, like if you make one of your military, and go down to the bigger ones at like the bottom of the tech tree, like that one.
Mm-hmm.
What's he cost? 500
plus 20 manpower plus 500 water
plus 20 manpower, whereas
troopers are 220.
200, yeah. I think one of the ones for smuggler I saw was like 1,000, and I was like, 1,000. Yep. What the heck,
dude? That's what I'm saying. Look, go back to your forces. So like for me, the middle guy, right? So for you, it's heavy weapon squad, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So how much does that cost you right now?
It's 30 or 320.
300
Solaris. My middle guy got jacked up to 1,000 Solaris for the middle guy.
for the Lands Rad being 300% greater.
Plus, also you got the upkeep too. So each unit.
I was like, "Are you like?" I actually made one. It was really dumb. I should have just waited for that to go away.
Yeah.
Oh, worm sign.
It's a good it's a good start.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, for like day 0.
Yeah.
Kind of impressive that all this is there to even be overwhelmed with.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Right. Even if they have to work on the UI a bit to work on explaining things, and they have to.
Yeah, but it's not like the UI is bad or somehow like super
we got smugglers coming in.
No. It's just it could just use more, I guess.
It could just use some more information, so I know what the hell all this cool shit is.
Mm-hmm.
That's my water. Damn smugglers.
Smugglers going after you.
That's the sink, the polar sink. So
that's a good zone to have.
Yeah. So they're going to take care of that. They're going to capture that and then put in a water extractor.
So they said, so if you are making a campaign, will it follow the story of the books or be an original story? And they said, we're not there yet. And we don't know what form it would take, but a narrative campaign would probably have a different story, so there's something new to discover for all players.
Makes sense.
Will the game be accessible on GeForce Now? Said we are actually working to have the game compatible with GeForce Now as we speak. GeForce Now is NVIDIA's like cloud-based gaming service.
Yeah.
We hope to have this finalized by the time of the early access launch, but if not, very shortly after. So will the game be available on mobile? So while we believe Dune Spice Wars is an accessible 4X game, it is still very deep and requires many interfaces and a lot of information that'll be very challenging to fit on a mobile screen. So for now, at least, there are no plans to bring the game to mobile. How about console? They said right now we're 100% focusing on making the best game possible for PC. We are more than open to looking into the possibility further down the line, so never say never. How many units are available for each house faction? 5 or 6 depending on the faction, each with its unique stats and abilities. Dune Spice Wars is a 4X game, and warfare is only one important part of the game. With economy, spying, and politics to manage, we didn't want to overwhelm players with 10 plus different units like you would find in a regular RTS that does only war. That being said, we do have a few ideas for more, and we're excited to get players' feedback on that topic. On average, how long will one game last? Does it depend on the faction you have chosen? Depending on your strategy and the chosen difficulty, a game generally lasts from 2 to 3 hours. That being said, we're pretty sure players will find ways to be significantly faster than that, especially once multiplayer is available.
Ooh.
Oh, you're getting into actual all-out war, and
getting my
not doing too well.
Retreat, run away.
That is something to be said. Is that running away is a valid option and something you should do.
Lost 2 units. No, don't
say. Just pulling from the different factions themselves. The Fremen. They say, arising from and forged by the desert, the Fremen are less affected by the environment. They can travel further before suffering from exhaustion or attracting the sandworms. Better yet, they can use the terrible beast to travel faster and strike suddenly at the heart of their opponent's domain. Experts in stealth tactics, they could also lay devastating ambushes on their opponent's armies or hide inside the dreadful sandstorms to surprise weakened, unsuspecting victims. While their guerrilla tactics are more than adequate for combating the invaders, their true power lies elsewhere. In rallying all of the sieges across Arrakis, the Fremen will grow even stronger and may be able to completely drive the Imperium out of the planet. So, their power is, like, their gameplay is more in, using what comes naturally on the planet.
Yeah.
And possible overwhelming with the different we'll call them barbarians, the different barbarian tribes. Smugglers starting near the polar region. The smugglers are likely to encounter the other factions early. Luckily, this plays well for their unique capacity to infiltrate their opponents' villages, profiting from their infrastructure and increasing their reach on Arrakis. It also puts them at an advantage to benefit from the trade of polar waters. In all aspects of their development, see, I was playing the smugglers. I didn't find the I didn't find the ice.
They didn't put you near that.
No. In all aspects of their development, smugglers are specialists in optimizing their economic outcomes, parasitizing the development of their neighbors, embedding their underworld into the smallest furrows of their productions. They are renowned for their rapid and meticulous looting of even the smallest wealth of Arrakis. They're very smugly. But it says starting near the polar region. Does that mean that basically the factions have like a starting location that they always have?
Well, it's randomly generated, each map.
I thought it was more, randomized.
Yeah.
But I guess they always put the polar area, whatever that polar zone is, near where they start, maybe. Harkonnen. A key strength of the Harkonnens is... I just didn't find it myself, that's all. A key strength of the Harkonnens is their formidable force on the battlefield and their lack of hesitation to employ any and all underhanded tactics at their disposal to achieve their goals. Whether it's shady politics, assassination, or cutting-edge spying, they know how to implement and execute long-term plans to win wars without having to start them. However, their military forces cannot be downplayed, as the indoctrination that their soldiers undergo transform them into veritable mindless and fanatical war machines. So
yeah, that's what I was going for.
Military, yeah. And then
fanatical war machines, please go.
Mindless war machines. Awesome. Atreides says one of the core strengths of the Atreides is their unparalleled political power. Their negotiating skills and their reputation for honor and loyalty allow many major and minor houses to place their confidence in them and in turn give them more power, allowing them to benefit from many advantages with regards to laws or the reclamation of political power. On Arrakis, the Atreides can also rely on their skills and reputation to easily negotiate with the Fremen, giving them valuable advantages over other factions in the race to conquer the dangerous planet. So you should try negotiating with the Fremen. Be like, give me stuff, Fremen. Give me... What do you got, Fremen?
What you got for me?
What you got? You should like me more. Because reasons. So it's interesting that each one has their own different gameplay style that creates disproportion, or what's the word for that? Maybe it's disproportionate. I don't know. It's like lopsided gameplay.
Yeah,
like rock paper scissors, basically.
Oh, here's the grid explain. It's in your research, in your development.
Okay.
Well, there you go. I don't think his Harkonnen even let me pick that tree.
Oh,
I think.
You should be able to.
Not.
No, I could pick the military one.
Maybe that's one of the things with Harkonnen is it's like you just can't do that tree. You just can't research it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Because I think it was gonna let me do one of the other ones like intelligence, but I don't think that one it wanted to let me do. I tried clicking on it, and it didn't seem to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I was doing something wrong or it's a bug. But it also wouldn't surprise me if, like, as a balance thing, like, you can't just do everything, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Smugglers, I thought I could, but smugglers.
Yeah.
They have their hands in a little bit of everything, so. Feature or bug? Feature or bug?
I mean, it's really 6 one way, half dozen another, right?
Yeah. Who knows? So, yeah, I wish it will.
It's a fun game. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I could see myself playing it a lot more, once they're like, hey, we have a campaign. I'll be like, I'm down. I'm down for a campaign.
Yeah, I mean, some people just want to build and take over something, and that will certainly scratch that itch, probably, especially in a Dune setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, right, Civilization, which is one of the most popular, games of this, not the 4X genre, but of the, build.
Still similar style.
Yeah. That doesn't have campaigns.
Yeah.
That just has, you build a society and you go. So,
but this does feel like, especially with the IP, it would benefit.
Absolutely.
It would benefit from having that as an option.
Mm-hmm. Because one of the things people like about Dune is story. Yeah. Having a story to play through, or in the first one it's only you and the Harkonnen or something, or only you and or if you start as what I'd say that the Atreides and whoever get along, the Fremen get along, so it's like the first zone is basically just one Fremen camp, and you have to, I don't know, do blah 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 blah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't make these things.
I can't imagine why.
I'm so good. I'm the idea guy.
You're blah 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 blah.
What you guys need to do? Blah 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 blah. Just do it. You know what I mean. Yeah.
I want it by the end of the week. Start with.
Have it on my desk by Thursday.
No, but I agree. I think if it had a campaign, I would.
Mm-hmm. But I can see where they're like multiplayer first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Get multiplayer first.
I think you'll get
campaign later.
I think you'll get a separate segment of sales from having a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like entirely. There'll be people that would see the Dune IP, see the game, but be like, man, I don't want to just kind of do it just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, ooh, there's a Dune story I can play through, and you'll get people that would have never picked up the game and pick it up. So I think it definitely will expand the market for the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
If they can manage to do it. I don't even think it's got to be like super amazing, honestly.
No. And see, that's the weird thing.
It just needs to be something you can do. You can be like, all right, I'm gonna pick this faction, and then I'm Atreides, so Harkon's gonna turn kind of fuck with me. I'm gonna attack them, and it'll be like the guy will talk shit, and then I'll kick his ass or lose and have to try again, and then it'll be like the next thing you do, and then oh man, like this smuggler guy's a real dickhole, like. Like it doesn't have to it'd be great if it's like amazing, right? Like amazingly written, but in reality a campaign in these kinds of games is just a sequence of reasons for you to do what you're doing.
Which if you go back and play like Warcraft 1,
yeah,
like the first one is basically like, I don't know, build 4 farms, and then there's maybe like a paragraph that tells you how good that was, or something.
You're amazing. Like you saved the kingdom. Everyone's not starving now.
You're right. Right. This is the first level. This is all the way back here. It's not on the front lines. You need to make the food so that the forces can actually do stuff later.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's that sort of thing where it's.
For some reason in my head I have like StarCraft, where because StarCraft had multiple.
StarCraft was pretty big right out of the gate, if I remember.
But it had multiple factions going on, right? And
yes.
As far as the campaign went, you would go to different planets and do different things to advance your battle versus one or the other faction, and then I need to go rescue these guys or go fight this specific lieutenant of the opposing force. I want to take them out. It's important to stop them here and save this resource or whatever. It doesn't have to be amazing. It just needs to have essentially just gives you some level of purpose.
Like I've always said, I'm a fan of MMOs, especially that have a story to them. I don't necessarily need that story to be that good.
No, see that for me has changed since Secret World drastically.
I mean, now, yeah, that's Secret World. Secret World
ruined me.
Secret World's kind of spoiling. Yeah.
But this style of game is very much it's very much you're just going to build and take over. It's just nice to have a reason to do that other than just to do it. And it doesn't take much for it to feel important. You have one or two places or characters in the opposing force that have some kind of personality that you're like, oh, that guy, I'm going to go fuck that guy up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just gotta make the opposing like lieutenant guy that's on the screen an asshole, and now you're dead set on building to kill him.
Done.
But that said, I mean, there's plenty of story. Like they could totally do something super cool. I'm just saying it's like it just needs I agree it needs a campaign.
Yeah.
That's like the long and short of it.
I mean, if it had like deep, complex characters and whatnot, I mean, all the better. But
right, yeah. But it doesn't. It's not like, you know. I mean, if you click the, I mean, you're in combat. So like whatever.
There's a worm.
A worm. I got one. And he whiffed.
And I think I think you killed their their guys. It was gonna eat one of them.
So if you click like on the trade window or whatever, right, for one of the factions, yeah, like that. Like you could just have like this with like dialogue or text, even not even voice. You just have text on the screen with this animated picture of the guy and him saying some shit to you that makes you want to go kick his ass.
Or have the speech be like, I don't know, like Sim speech. Have him be like,
but I mean, because this looks really good. Like the animations, like the style, like it looks really good. You slap some text on there of him telling you like, you know, something, and then you need to go deal with him. Like,
yeah,
that's all. That's all the motivation you would need to give what you're doing some kind of function. They do have communication requests pop up, but it's not quite the same thing.
Well, it's not the same as a written like.
Well, like I said, they have some a few variations of lines that they come up with when they do the communications request.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you've came into this territory, you found it was hard because we were there, or something along that line.
Oh yeah, that was one. It was the very first thing I got, and it was the very first communication I got, and it was from the Atreides, and he was like, "Well, you suck." I was like, "That's it, man.
That's all you got.
Going for? Bring it on, motherfucker!
Yeah. Where are you?
No, so I mean, yeah. I would want a little more than that, like as far as like a reason to go like mess with them. But that's what I'm saying is like they have the graphics, right? They have the setup for it. If you just put a little bit more into some kind of,
we're not saying it has to be written by George R.R. Martin or anything, you know.
No, because I'd want it, you know, before 10 years from now.
10.
But like, just some vague connection of I'm gonna go from point A to point B to point C, doing things.
Give me a reason why.
Things. Yeah. Because while they do have communication requests, that's not really what they do. They don't give you like a reason to go do something. In fact, most of them, and maybe I was doing something wrong. Like they came up and I was like, okay, and there was no other button other than close. I had no other button other than close. I was like, okay, I guess I'll close. Thanks for.
I think that's what it was when a Atreides came up to me, and it was like you're awful. Like close.
Thanks.
You came all this way, and that's what you got. All right.
I found the trade thing by accident, because I would assume communication requests would come up with something like they want to trade with you, and that's how they'd introduce trading. Dialogue choices to affect relationship. I mean, potentially. But also just like a reason to like, why am I taking this village as opposed to the left of me as opposed to the right of me, right? Like,
oh, look, do a trade, do a trade with any of the factions for me. Okay, so in the upper right hand corner there, you have like it looks 2 arrows, one going left, one going right in the in that window. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Relation.
So it shows your actual relation level. Now you're right, -40 with them. So
yeah, because I kind of attacked their city.
You know, you know what happened.
Potato mistakes.
So you do affect your status with them in different ways in the game, but yeah. But when I say like campaign, it's campaigns usually are just a story reason for you to go somewhere and fuck something up.
Oh, I never saw that force treaty button with 50 influence.
Well, that's I think because if you have Lady Jessica, because she can use, her Bene Gesserit power to force it.
Oh, okay. That's not just like the influence. That's not just like the smuggler influence. Treaty required to force. Oh, okay.
Maybe you have to already have a treaty.
Yeah, you have to select a treaty, maybe.
And then
you can be like, "Hey,
yeah, there we go.
Do it. Let's."
Because I said so.
I got the.
I got the goods.
Actually, you have like 500 of that. You can totally force that.
You really should do that, actually.
Which treaty did? Oh, research agreement.
It adds knowledge. You got one that does extra cash, and you got one that does non-aggression.
Like, don't tase me, bro.
And that one, right, it says cannot something due to blah blah blah. Oh, cannot multiple treaties at once. All right, no.
Well, yeah, you just unselect the one you have.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you could just force non-aggression.
You can just be like, no, don't attack me, bro.
Well, the Arconans are attacking that one settlement.
There you go. We'll open the Arconan and see if you can force them.
Yeah, can you force them?
Yeah, because they're getting attacked right there.
See if it'll let you.
Like, don't see. Okay, you're at 0, so you're even. You're even with those guys.
So, yeah, you could just force non-aggression.
You just be like, don't do anything, man. I feel like you've got it to waste at this point. 500 is a lot.
Yeah.
Curious what happens is because you said they were already attacking.
Well, they were attacking the smuggler base.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're attacking smugglers
because they came from here, and then also had a raiding party come in as well. So the raiding party's still there.
Everyone wants the water place. Yeah.
Achievement unlocked. Illegal bond.
Oh, because I did a treaty.
Also, they have Steam achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good for early access.
Oh, which ones have I got so far? That's a good question.
I honestly don't remember seeing it.
Maybe.
Doesn't mean I didn't get any. Oh, no, I got some.
I've unlocked view my achievements.
I have 3.
I did capture your first village, construct a building that exploits a natural resource, assign a new crew to a harvester, eliminate a raid targeting you, and sign a treaty. All right, so I mean those are all basic.
So I got expansionist, eliminate a raid targeting you, and that one's glowing for some reason. And then way of the air, use a shuttle to transport troops.
Okay.
Yeah, the defender one's glowing for me. Is it glowing for you? I think it's maybe because it says 3.2% of players have this achievement, so it's like a really low.
Oh yeah, I've got 4 of them are glowing for me, and it says because a low percentage have that, but I don't know. I go into the global gameplay stats, and it's like. No. Expansion is 91.7% of players have this. 83.2. What's the lowest one? That someone has so far? Okay, 0.1% of players already have win in insane difficulty. All right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people are playing like on hard or the most difficult scenarios. It's like, man, you guys are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's the kind of player, like the kind of guys I was watching. Stream Conan Unconquered.
Oh yeah.
In the day. They were just like fucking crazy at it. I was watching like a stream like on a Saturday with my kid on the couch or something on the TV, and just like amazed at like watching them just completely wreck that game, like micromanaging like 15 different things at once, and just doing all the right moves at all the right time to like, just like Jesus Christ, man. So yeah, I'm sure that like that kind of person you drop into this,
mm-hmm.
All the systems are gonna make sense to them because it's all stuff they've played that style of game a ton, and then they're just gonna go crazy.
Let's see if I can figure out what's the most played at this point. Okay, so if I'm going down this list, it says here we go. The first one that has the highest percent at 8.5%, not a lot of percent, is Win with House Atreides. 8.5% of players have that. And then it's Fremen, Win with the Fremen, 3.8%. Win with House Harkonnen, 1.4%. and win with the smugglers 0.8%. So I guess if that tells you anything, it says maybe House Atreides is the most played so far.
I think everyone.
Like how assassin win by assassinating your last opponent 0.4%.
0.4%. Well done.
I mean, that's just a cool like coup d'état, right? It's just like
you can get the killer one, which is 1.3%, and assassin at the same time.
Assassin enemy leader. Yeah, I suppose that's true.
That's fun. I feel like generally you can learn a lot from looking at achievements. That's why they're good to have. Get it out of there.
Yeah, and this thing is still perpetual construction.
Still perpetually building.
Win in easy difficulty or more, 12.4%.
That means a lot of people have played, but not everyone's won yet. Well, I started in medium difficulty. I didn't start in easy.
12.4%. I mean, I know I was saying it was kind of impressive that 12.4% have actually won.
Have actually won a game.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
It hasn't been out that long.
Yeah, maybe I should restart because I don't think I know I started in medium and I don't think I'm winning. I still haven't seen one of those storms yet. That's fun.
I've gotten so many. It's just
you've gotten a lot.
Oh, there's a siege right there. So with this, you can do a water trade, and it increases your reputation with them, and then you can go ahead and do an alliance with them.
So they stop attacking you, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's expensive. It's 10 water each time for each siege.
That's a lot of sieges.
Yep.
I feel like I actually need to. Dune is, and I hope to have basically read the book by the time that their much larger game comes out. Funcom's, open world or whatever it's gonna be.
The survival game,
survival sandbox. Yeah, I would hope that I would have read. I want to read the books before that point comes out. But right now, it's like oh, it's this guys and these things. It's I've never even seen the movies. Sorry.
No, have you not seen the new one either?
No, I didn't see the new movie either. I don't.
That's really good.
I've heard. I
vaguely remember seeing the old ones. I saw the TV show.
Okay.
I remember the TV like mini series or whatever.
Yeah, on Sci-Fi years ago.
Yeah, many years ago. But I also remember seeing some it's an older movie. It's like a rerun on a Saturday afternoon or something. Like I saw I think the original Dune movie.
Okay.
Yeah, was it 1984?
Yeah,
I saw that at some point. I don't know if I was old enough necessarily when I saw it to fully grasp everything. I mean, I wasn't crazy young, but I just, might not have caught some of the more political stuff or whatever. But yeah, then the TV series, and then the new movie is fucking cool.
Yeah, no, I've heard it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I was able to take this spice field over here.
Nice. Dual spice. That should be an achievement. Old spice.
Dueling spices.
Smugglers are coming back in.
But I guess that's part of the fun thing. And yeah, I do kind of see, once you zoom in all the way, you're like, I want to see this in 3D now. Yeah, I want to turn the camera. Maybe even a little bit. Maybe even just not even 360. Maybe if it's just I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it's only because you come down in an angle.
Mm-hmm. And at nighttime, you can see the moons in the sky, which is cool.
Yeah, it's the fact that it lets you come down to that angle makes it weird that you can't look around.
The rest of his crew is just there's left of nope, I'm out. Oh, they don't know what to do.
You're I can't attack him now. I guess.
Well, I guess we go over here.
I guess we'll attack those guys then.
I remember I sent some troops to attack, and one went down the path right next to the thing. The other one decided it was just gonna go way the fuck over here and come down. I was like, "Are you serious? Why?"
You're like, who's commanding that? Who's commanding that unit?
I said go over here, and the smart ones went to 2 feet this way, and you decided I'm gonna go this way.
Yeah, let's go all the way above that cliff, and then all the way down. You're like, guys, For real. You got a good amount of manpower.
Yeah.
Got a good amount of manpower. What's your bribe up to?
What are they demanding? 385 so far.
That's not that bad. You got plenty.
I want to get the spice silos so I can do plus 20% spice production.
Do you have your harvesters? Do they got people in them?
Yeah.
Crews.
This one does not yet. I was going to put in a wind trap.
Crew it up. I don't know what I'm saying.
J crew.
Mofo. Crew it up. I shouldn't do that.
No, probably.
Yeah, just a bad look overall.
Yeah, the Arconans, they're spreading all over.
Oh yeah, they are. That's okay. Sure.
Well, I noticed that the Arconans they spread out like this because there's just military. They don't care about resources all that much. I haven't seen any Fremen. I think they're probably up here.
So on my map,
actually, I think they're right here. I see the yellow.
On my map, the Fremen were directly to the west of me. Okay, you started in the south. I think that's where mine started. I wonder if there's like a general area where they all start from. Like one starts in the north, south, east, and west or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's that siege there. I'm going to put in a...
We'll have to play it more to find out. Or is it just like that? Like, okay, wherever anyone starts, there's going to be a spice field next to them, and the polar cap is near the smugglers or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. Y'all get water.
Everybody gets water.
Water for everybody. Except you.
No water for you.
All right. Oh, what do you guys think? Think that's good for the night?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's pretty good. I found the polar thing seems to always be in the middle. Oh, okay. I need to load mine and figure out where it actually ran off to. where the polar thing
where did it go?
That's words.
I don't. Yeah. I'm not sure that's how that works.
Can a natural formation run? We'll see. Well, agents, this has been the 0 Point Report, strain 62-FAH. You can catch us recording live every other Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on the 0 Point Report Twitch channel, where you can also join us and chat with us while we do the show live, or download our show wherever podcasts are found so you can listen to us on the go. Jimmy, where can we find you online?
JimmyTheRabbit.com, Twitch.tv/JimmyTheRabbit, YouTube.com/JimmyTheRabbit, and @1JimmyTheRabbit on Twitter.
Nice, dude. And 2 Ton Waffle, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere.
Omnipresent. Very nice.
I see all. I'm the God Emperor.
Really?
Omniscient, omnipresent,
and humble.
And humble.
Very right. Very humble.
If you don't agree with me, I said a couple sided car,
I said what I said.
You can find me at 2tonwaffle.com, here on Twitch at 2tonwaffle, and also on Twitter, same name, 2tonwaffle.
Nice. And I'm Ocho. You can find me both on Twitter and here on Twitch at Big Mikey Ocho. You can get in touch with us by engaging with the show on Twitter at 0 Point Report, checking out previous shows on our YouTube channel, and joining us on our Discord server, both named the 0 Point Report. So from all of us here at the 0 Point Report, we want to thank you for tuning in and wish you all the best from Dune, apparently. And it's a puppy.
Attack. We got puppy side.
Wish you all the best from the Secret World, which is a game we normally play. But, we check out other
other funcom games, yeah.
Why not? Have a great night, everybody. Get attacked by your friendly neighborhood dog, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Have a good one.
I'm getting stuck on my phone cord. What are you doing? What are you doing?